What's going on, guys, and welcome back. So Halloween Kills was once again directed by David Gordon Green, and it is of course a direct follow-up to the 2018 film. And you see the return of Jamie Lee Curtis, Andi Matichak, Judy Greer, and it follows Micheal Myers, who was supposedly left for dead in a burning house, who of course escapes by killing the first responders and releases terror upon Haddonfield once again. So guys, this film, Halloween Kills, was my #1 movie out of all the other movies that has opened up this year. This one takes the cake. And I've been hearing a lot of hatred for it. Even after I watched it, I don't see as much hatred for it as most others. But then again, I'm the exception. I'm mostly on an island with most movies anyway. So what I really liked about Halloween Kills, what positive things I liked about Halloween Kills was the setting. The all-out way Haddonfield looked, it was perfect. And not to mention the house, the Micheal Myers house. They did it justice. With all the older adaptations, since these are actual revamped versions of this series, so none of those exist, but they never respected what the Myers house looked like. One of the older ones looked like a mansion. Looked nothing like the original. And not to mention in Halloween Kills, there was a nice setup scene. There was a 1970s scene that was supposed to be straight after the original. And the way they portrayed that scene, the way it was presented, the way it looked, the cinematography of it all, it was awesome. It was perfect. You'd think you were actually watching a 70s film. That whole scene has took place immediately after the first one, after the original. There's a lot of unexplained answers in the 2018 film that was just dangling. This pretty much solves all that. It's pretty much a problem solver in terms of continuity. So I really did enjoy that. I really did appreciate that. Of course, you see the return of several of the characters in the first, and one particular one that I thought for sure died off, which was Will Patton's character. He actually returns. I was surprised to see him. The whole atmosphere of this, it was perfect to me. A lot of people are saying that with the storyline, and I guess I would have to agree with them a little bit that the storyline didn't really go nowhere, but people's got to remember, this is a part of a trilogy. They are expected to come out with a third one, or another one next year, which technically, if you want to look at it realistically, is going to be the fourth one for next year, which will be Halloween Ends. So, okay, to collect all my thoughts in order, I just want to say the one thing that really satisfied me the most, walking into this, I knew that there was going to be plenty of carnage candy. Micheal Myers shows his all. I really don't think he was this brutal since the Rob Zombie versions. And that's how Michael is supposed to be. That's just him. He's, as the trailer said, he's the essence of evil. He doesn't care who he kills, as long as he does it. That's who Michael is. It doesn't matter who you are. If you see him, you're dead. And that's pretty much what this movie's saying. The title owns up to its name. Halloween Kills. This is basically a murder movie, plain and simple. It was a gore fest, pretty much. I wouldn't completely compare it to Rob Zombie's Halloween. Some people are, but I still think Rob Zombie's Micheal Myers was more brutal, but this one came close second. The first one was a nice little movie to where you get a follow-up to the original 40 years later, where he escapes from the mental asylum and then does his thing. And then you get the hardcore one, which, in my experience, when you do trilogies like this, the second one is usually the most brutalist, especially if it's dealing with a type of killer like Micheal Myers. The second one is usually the most brutalist, especially if you're revamping it and you're trying to do it, in your own way. I mean, look at the Rob Zombie versions. You had the first one, which is basically an origin story, which a lot of people didn't care for. And then you had the second one, which Rob Zombie could do whatever he wanted. And he was really brutal in that. So, same thing with Halloween Kills. I think that was David Gordon Green's intentions. And I really did appreciate that for it. I knew it was going to be hardcore walking into this, rolling into this. And that it was. And And another thing I appreciated about this was the fact that you got several returning members from the original that you didn't quite see in the 2018 film. For instance, Charles Cyphers. He played the original sheriff in the original film. He returns in this. Kyle Richards was actually the original actress that played Lindsay in the original, one of the kids that Laurie Strode babysat. She returns in this. And then you also get Nancy Stevens, who is the nurse. You get her. All of them returns with the exception of Anthony Michael Hall, who plays Tommy Doyle in this. The original guy, I don't know what happened. I guess they couldn't get him on the phone or whatever. But with the exception of him, all the original cast pretty much returns. And I really did appreciate that. It just opened up a nice nostalgic era for me watching this, especially with the 70s flashback. And unlike the 2018 film, I really do think that they corrected a lot of their mistakes. Some of the scenes, I actually devised my own cut. I imagined my own cut watching the 2018 film. Because some of the scenes in that movie was just useless. In this, I didn't really find any scenes hardly that I felt like that was unworthy. And that's another thing Halloween Kills got over the 2018 film for me. Halloween Kills was straightforward in tone and pacing. Unlike the 2018 film, Halloween Kills definitely remedied that. It definitely remedied a lot of its mistakes, and it didn't have as much stupid jokes that the 2018 film had, which really annoyed me. The score was amazing. You know, the Carpenters, John Carpenter and his son, did an amazing job with the score. It was a newer, revamped version of the original material. And it fit perfectly for this. It fit perfectly for Halloween Kills. And, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, you also get her back. You know, she's in it, but she's like kind of a side character, I guess. Which brings me to the mixed. Jamie Lee Curtis, she's wonderful in this, but she wasn't in it enough. It was like one of those that, okay, they kind of treated her like a side character, but at the same time, when she showed up, she was perfect. It's what you expect from that character. I think she was in the 2018 film more than she was in this. And there was a hospital scene, which the whole entire movie doesn't take place in the hospital like the original Halloween 2 did. So don't get that twisted. The whole entire plot line where Tommy Doyle, who's all grown up now, of course, leads this lynch mob to go after Michael. I didn't have a problem with that, but it was like kind of watching Halloween 4, like a remake of Halloween 4, because if you recall in that film, there was a lynch mob that tried going after him in that one. The reason why this is in the mix is because the way they handle it in Halloween Kills, there was more to understand about it. There was a repercussion that you actually saw. And there was this whole sideline where Michael has turned the whole town against each other. And that was another case of the monsters, or however they said it. And I appreciate that. But if you're going to revamp something, why do it over again? Again, mixed. I'm kind of mixed on that. But again, I did appreciate what the movie was trying to tell you in that sense, in that part of it, of the storyline. And I only have two negatives about this. The ending. Okay, I didn't have a problem with the townspeople catching up to him and beating the crap out of Michael. But there was one seriously big gaping hole that happened right after that. And it's something that I can't really mention because it's probably might consider as a spoiler, but it's just something that happened at the end that made no sense whatsoever. Hopefully they'll tie that in the next one like they did with the 1978 flashback with this. How they, explained everything on how they caught Michael and everything. Hopefully they'll explain the ending to Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Plus some of the lines that they gave Anthony Michael Hall's character, Tommy Doyle, to say, it was a little cheesy. It was a little out there. Yeah, it's like they tried to replicate Donald Pleasant's famous lines in a way. Where with Donald Pleasance in the original, when he would say, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes, I spent 8 years trying to help him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. Some of the lines that Anthony Michael Hall would say in Halloween Kills: "Come get some, Michael. We're ready for you. We're coming for you." He meant well. He meant well. And no offense to the actor, but it's just the lines that he was given, it just didn't really come off that good. I don't know. It was just a little cheesy, in my opinion. But other than that, I had a really good time in this. It was what I expected. I really don't understand. I really don't get the hate for this. And of course, film is subjective. You can't please everybody, and that's fine. We're all different. But to me being a long-time Halloween fan, I could stand Halloween Kills a little more. I knew going into this, since it was a Micheal Myers film, and we don't get enough actual good horror movies anymore, actual good slashers, I guess that's why I'm tolerating this one a little more than others. But again, that's just me. That's how I roll. I'm a lot more lenient than most others. So, Halloween Kills, what were your thoughts on it? Again, I really don't understand the hate for this. I mean, everybody's different, but I just didn't see that much of a problem with it as much as others did. I thought it was fun, scary, and gory. The 3 main things I look for in a horror movie besides from the story. Yes, I do care about the story too, but it's Micheal Myers. Around Halloween time, what else can you tell other than a lynch mob or him killing people? So what were your thoughts on it? Did you find it a worthy sequel, or are you with the others that's just not liking it at all and just wasn't quite feeling it? Leave me your comment down below and give me your thoughts. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I'll see you on the next one. And happy Halloween. Peace.